Welcome everybody, Sodaron here again, the Wizard of LOL Esports, self-proclaimed. So I'm back to give you a little bit of an update, what I've been working on here the last couple days. I know I haven't been putting out any content or videos, so I thought I should share what I'm doing because I can't really stream this because I'm working at my own pace. And this is some of the problem when I grind that I run into, that maybe you see some professional streamers or high-ranked pro players where you're watching them on Twitch and they just grind game after game after game. I don't. When I was younger, I could do that, but I'm much older now, so I have adult responsibilities. And I may play like 2 or 3 games in a row and take a break. But normally I like to play a game and I'll take a break for 5 or 10 minutes. And I used to run into the problem back in like season 3 when I had some friends that I would duo with or whatever it's called. And they would get mad at me because I would walk away for 5 or 10 minutes where they want to jump in from game to game to game. And I feel like, let me put the dog down. I feel like maybe that's some of why you lose, guys. You're not prepared or ready to go in and win the next game. You're on a hype where you won a game and you get a high from it. You feel awesome and you want to go do it again, and then you don't play so well. So maybe you're losing. You know, I don't know what to title this. I don't know if this should be the next level with Sodaron, or I'm just calling this Jungle Clinic right now because I play jungle, but whatever I show you can translate to other roles. But I'm just showing you what I've been working on. I'm trying to master Nidalee, and I showed you on my last stream on the next level with Sodaron where I went and explained I was trying to hit the timing that Canyon does. And a lot of you, I think, don't even pay attention to the timings and stuff because you're just excited. You get in and start playing, and then it's like 20 minutes into the game before you know it, and then it's 30 or 40 minutes. Whereas me, for example, I want to end the game in 20 minutes. So I just want to show you some of the hard work I was doing and how it paid off. I can't recall. You go here, and these are games where I play in the practice tool, and I've showed you over and over and over. It's really easy. I'll show you again right here to explain why I do it. But say I've got it's 9:56, and say I don't have time to play a solo queue game, but I've got 5 minutes instead of going on X and social media and stuff, which is kind of a waste of time. Maybe you could use the time for something like this. So you could go in a practice tool and go in here and add a bot that you would like to practice against. I just played into Warwick, so I could go and play into Warwick and set him as the enemy jungler. And I can practice my routes. Now I've got my streaming set up right now, so my mic's in the middle of my desk, so I can't really play, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about, and I'll go into my past little replays. So then I go to Nidalee, and then nowadays you don't even have to worry about runes and stuff. So the last game I played, I took the wrong runes and wasn't even paying attention, but I'd probably take Conqueror into Warwick for trading and stuff like that. I had Electrocute and just beat him, but so I go into the game here, and I'm just showing you why. So I've spent a minute already. Maybe I only have 10 minutes. You spend a lot of time trying to get into ranked games, and then somebody dodges, and then you got to wait again, where you're wasting a lot of your time. And I know a lot of you that watch streams and watch content of other gamers is your parents, or you have jobs out there, so you don't have the time to do this. You may only have an hour or two in your day. Make sure the sound is okay here, because it sounds really loud in my headphones, but I have that on a different setting. So I go and take what I would take on Nidalee. I'm doing it at my speed, but here's the big key. I can teleport the cursor and start right now, and I can fast forward the game to 1:30 seconds, or it spawns at 1:28 seconds, so we'll leave it right there. Now, Nidalee, it seems more efficient to start with the E in her cougar farm and start these raptors, so I start right here. And again, I was really bad at this 2 days ago, and I showed you on my past stream, so I'm just trying to show you how this hard work pays off. And we'll look at how much time I've really spent doing this and how I improve. I think I've only spent like 2 hours. So then I do that. And then I've learned, okay, I go over and then heal. And then I go back to cougar form. Now the heal has a very long cooldown timer, so it's not worth. And then I hit that, I heal myself. Throw in an auto. Go back out of cougar form. Spear. Want to make sure to get the extra auto attacks. The heal is up this time. Spear. And I'm going a much faster pace now because I've got the practice in. Spear. Auto attack. Q. Now this speed, I'll show you why it really pays off here in a minute when you're playing solo queue and you're that much faster than your enemy jungler. Come over here, cue this big one. I messed some of this up actually because I'm sitting here trying to talk to you. Heal. Because I want to make sure I have her E left to clear all these extras. Or you can also W. So okay. And I should be able to find Warwick over here. Go over the wall. He's probably up here at the Krugs by now, but go over here. I did some things that I normally wouldn't do in solo queue right there, but I'm just looking for Warwick. And I think he's up on the red side. So I might have been a little bit slow on this clear because I don't have, again, my keyboard's on the left side of my desk and my microphone's in the middle, so I couldn't play with both hands like I want to. But I'm just showing you why I do that. That's why you do the practice tool. You can do it for lanes if you want. So, okay. Now let's go into one. That was that. Let's go into the one I did before. I practiced one before I did a solo queue game. So like I'd spend 12 minutes there, spend 4 minutes there. So it looks like it takes about 2 minutes to get a game started. So you could spend 10 minutes every time you get bored instead of going on social media or Facebook. And this may help you get better at the game. So here again, this is the one I played before I played solo queue. I was just messing around with Wukong. Now this one's different because I was practicing clearing the blue side with Nidalee. And I can go through and speed up here. We'll go to about 1:08 seconds. So this time I was trying what I did on the blue side. In case I get invaded on or I lose my red buff, I need to know how to clear the other side. Now the red side seems more efficient to start at for Nidalee. And this was my first time even clearing this side with her, so I know I can get faster with this. And you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be fast. I probably messed that up, spearing that wolf. But again, I'll learn from my mistakes and get faster every time I do this, or I may get to a point where I feel like the practice tool is a waste of time, that I've mastered Nidalee, and then I just play solo queue. But this is how you start getting good with a new champion that you want to master before going into solo queue. Or you want to sharpen up your jungle clear or get faster. I have a problem here where the blue side jungle camps, the Gromp and the blue buff, they like to warp or path weird for some reason, so that gets me a lot of times, so I waste time and take damage that I shouldn't. But, you know, I see some people really struggle with Nidalee in their first clear. You don't need a health pot. And it's like test driving a car, right? Like I'm practicing for my solo queue games. And of course, it looks like Wukong struggles his first clear. So I was able to come over here and get the red buff. Now, I probably didn't put the trap in a good place. I'll show you more in the solo queue game, but you want to use those traps in the brushes before you go in so you don't face check. There we go, the pathing. I really didn't want to smite that red buff. I just did because I thought Wukong might be there to steal it. But he showed up in the mid lane. The Krugs, you know, kind of messing up with these. These are things that I really need to tighten up and improve on. And I'm just showing you, like, you may think you're really good at this game, but you can always improve and get better. Just practicing hitting spears. If you play Nidalee, you want to make sure you don't go all in the lion form all of a sudden. You need to at least probably get them down to about 50% HP before you go in. You know, a lot of her damage comes range from the spears and her autos from the spears. Then you burst them down after they're like 50, 40% HP. And so I'm just testing out, getting the objectives, because I'm trying to teach you a certain way to play anyways on the next level with Sodaron, where you play by objectives and wards and there's certain timings. I feel like a lot of you solo queue players don't really know what you're doing or why you're doing it. So I'm trying to help show you the direction to go in, right? Like if you're a laner, you need to be working on where you have 50 CS now. My CS is probably pretty low compared to a pro player around this time. I'd have to go back and look. I should have maybe more around like 35 at this point, or 40. But I wanted to test out this for the next solo queue game I played. I want to see how well Nidalee can clear the dragon at 5 minutes in the game. And then I missed a jump there, of course. But I'm just testing how well she can take down the dragon. She should be able to solo it at level 4 and at 5 minutes. That's one reason why Nidalee's such a strong jungler. Some junglers can't do this. I mean, she has a self-heal. She has wards, has ranged damage. Her just entire kit is OP. But I would say she takes some of the most skill to master out of all the champions. So, very high ceiling. Very difficult to master, but very rewarding. So I can show you the fruits of my labor in my next game. So I was just trying to get the dragon here. I think maybe I was trying to trade or skirmish here, they call it, with Wukong and see how well I can do. I'm really just practicing throwing the spears, trying to throw them at the enemy. Because again, you gotta land and get a good bit of spears on an enemy champion before you all in with them in the lion form. A lot of her damage comes from the spears. It's just the lion form is more of like a closing thing. Because if you spear them and then lioness form, you're pretty much screwed, right? Because there's nothing you're going to be able to do then if you don't do enough damage. Or you like spear and then lioness form into a team fight. If you don't do enough damage to burst your target down, you're probably going to be screwed. So I'm just... So then I thought and felt confident enough where I played in the last few days, and you saw on my stream, or last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16, 15 or 16 games of practice tool Nidalee before I went into a solo queue game. And then you'll see more of why in this game. And there were a lot of mistakes I made. I didn't play perfect. I took the wrong... I meant to take Conqueror. I don't know why the game gave me Electrocute, but it seemed to work. So... here we go. I want to finish the game out in 20 minutes. I try to get the objectives, the dragon, the void grubs, turrets, buffs. I try to take any of the enemy jungle away that I can. I try to shut the enemy jungler down. So I'm trying to take the raptor camp like I showed you. And my team decides to invade, so I come down here and help them. I even put a ward on the red buff. That's my ward. I face checked a brush that I probably should have been punished for. I shouldn't have done that. So there was one big mistake I made. Now, it was okay because I took the E first for my clear so I could heal myself. So I'm even starting kind of low HP right here. But this is where the practice tool practice really starts to kick in right here. Now Warwick, he doesn't really take any skill to play or do jungle camps. He just kind of AFK auto clears the jungle by himself and with his kit. The one tip I must say is you have to remember that the E's on a pretty long cooldown in the human form, the heal, so it's a 13-second cooldown, so you use the Lioness abilities a couple times before you switch over. Because I think some people have a habit where you use the human form abilities and you switch to Lioness, and then you switch back. Actually use the Lioness abilities a couple times before you switch over because the heal is on such a long cooldown at the beginning. Then eventually you get to where you throw in the spear every time and you go into Lioness form like twice before you can use her heal. And there's a lot to explain. But now that I have this confidence from the practice tool, where I'm confident to go and make plays and help out lanes. I'm not worrying about, man, I messed up this jungle clear. The trap really helps. Now this is where I got greedy. I shouldn't have flashed in right here. I really thought that I could take that, so that was bad on my part. I got greedy, but at least Volibear got the takedown. Now I can't really go into the enemy jungle until my flash is back up. So I made a greedy play at the start, but it's alright. Again, if you're a laner, you're trying to get 10 CS per minute. So if you're Gangplank, you're supposed to have about 30 CS right now. Callista looks like she's kind of knows what she's doing, but they've got a double ignite lane, which I don't like. So at this point, I'm trying to get on the dragon side. I'm trying to get the crab in the river for the dragon. Again, there's a formula I talk about where you try to get the dragon and then the void grubs and then the dragon and then the void grubs and then the dragon, then the Rift Herald, then a dragon, and you have Dragon Soul, and then Baron, and you close the game out. So you're trying to get the 4 dragons as fast as you can to get the Dragon Soul, and then in between that, in your downtime, you're trying to get the void grubs as extra and Rift Herald. I'm probably messing up a lot of her combos and damage and stuff, but again, I'm getting better over time, and a tree doesn't grow overnight. There, I helped out the bottom lane there because we got the flash out of Ezreal, so that really helps my bottom lane. They should be able to make a play. Callista's flash is about up. So I'm trying to shut Warwick down out of this game and take his farm away. And I'm also prepping for the dragon, which I'm bad about, where I need to maybe slow down a little bit more for my team to get to the objective. But I'm also trying to play this pace of getting these objectives down by 20 minutes. Like, I'm not slowing down in this game. I'm full throttle down. I'm trying to play as fast as I can. We've got Rend here, so we should be able to take this Smite and Rend. I did use my Smite. I was a little bit worried about this, and I think we even lost the dragon. because I used it on the crab, which I messed that up too. So we lost the first dragon even. I made the mistake of using the smite on the crab, and I should have saved it for the dragon. I got greedy and thought that we would be okay with the Callista Rend, and I really didn't think the blue team would counter and even attempt to stop us from the dragon, so I just barely messed that up. I left 34% HP for Warwick to come in and auto. So, but again, this game ended in 20 minutes. So I didn't let that get to me. I didn't get upset that I lost the dragon. I decide, well, they got the dragon, so now the next objective on the map is the Void Grubs. So that's why you see me come up to the Void Grub area. Callista's doing pretty well. She's still 30 CS behind. Gangplank is way behind. The Akali, I didn't even notice she had a full item already. I gotta pay more attention to the itemization of my enemies. It's just, I'm working on getting better at the mechanics on Nidalee right now, so I'm not really confident enough, I guess, to hit the tab like I should and pay attention to the Akali. I'm just worrying about getting the objectives, getting the turrets, helping my lanes if the enemy is overextended. Here, I didn't think there was anything I could do to get the Void Grubs, so I just have to kind of let them go, and Warwick's ahead of me in farm, so I gotta get back to farming. So I put the throttle down and start farming again. Try to get ahead of him or get some type of lead. My Volibear really would have been nice if he paid more attention to the Void Grubs area, but again, the traps on Nidalee are great because you've got free wards, so you don't have to face check. You got a spear, so you don't have to face check. So, I mean, at this point, it's not looking good, right? Because we've lost all the objectives. I've been there. I've been the one that was trying to start them, too. I just didn't have teammates that either know or are willing to help. So again, I'm trying to get caught up with Warwick because I spent a lot of time roaming around the river with the objectives and didn't get much farming done. I feel like I'm way behind on CS. I should maybe be more around like 80 CS by now. I messed that up. So these are the things that you mess up, and you go work on them in the practice tool. I'm down here trying to take Warwick's farm away. I'm not farming in my jungle. Trying to shut the enemy down any chance I get. So if you jungle, you're trying to take the enemy's farm away first as a priority over your own jungle. Then, once their farm's down, you can go back to your side of the map while you're waiting on the respawn and farm your own jungle. And then the enemy jungler won't have really anything to do, but he might show up in lanes, and then you have to either help warn the team, ping, let them know. So the next dragon's back up, so pretty sure that's what I'm prepping to do is clear this. I got the blue buff. Time to recall and go back and get the dragon. Warwick, the blue team should have got the dragon, or be attempting the dragon. But you see Warwick just wasted a lot of time, and he's probably going to come back and look and see that his jungle's gone. I ping a lot That's just, it's a thing from Warcraft 3. Before I even played this game, I've been playing games with pinging for like 15 years, so I naturally have the pinging. It's really important. That's another thing. If you lose or you're wanting to get to the next level, you need to work on pinging, alerting. Don't be nervous or think you're making people mad. If they want to win, they need to pay attention. They need to realize that pinging is part of a game and winning. So ping away. I ping so much that I'm like locked out of the ping, waiting till I can ping again. Notice how I don't go for the blue buff here. I already have one for one, but a lot of people would have went for the blue buff first. I'm worried about the objective. I'm worried about getting the dragon first. I can come back and get my blue buff. Now you would think the blue team bottom lane would notice, uh-oh, where did the red team bottom lane go? And see, I put us behind 5 minutes losing the first dragon. We might have been able to close this game out in 15 minutes. We didn't necessarily close it out. They surrendered. But it's very rewarding when... and I don't know why they keep wanting to target Nidalee. It's very rewarding when you can finish a game with the enemy team surrendering at 20 minutes. That's why... you gotta put the throttle down and try to get the 100 CS at 10 minutes. The jungle farm. I need to pay more attention to the jungle farm and give you more of a formula of where we should be at. You know, because now the pro teams, they are more farm heavy on their junglers, where they're basically making the jungler a lane. So I don't go for the crab. We don't really need the crab right there. So at least my teammates help me out here. Maybe they're like, man, I should help our jungler out. It looks like he's doing a lot of work running around. So they do help me get the void grubs. Again, that's what you got to do if you want to win. You got to get the objectives off the map. You don't want to wait till 40, 50 minutes in the game where it's a coin flip and 6 items. I also, like I told my team in the chat right before the game, I was like, we're playing against 2 supports. If we lose, this is sad, right? Because we're playing against Senna and Teemo, so those are 2 supports where we only have 1. I don't even know if Seraphine's considered a real support or not, if she's more of a mid laner or AD. Or they use her in bottom lane. I don't think she's necessarily like a straight up support with a dynamic kit made for supporting, where like Senna has the stacks, which I think is OP right now. So unfortunately I don't have the timers in here, but the dragon should be up in another couple minutes, so one thing I'm wanting to do is prep for that, be on the bottom side of the map, try to get the scuttle crab when it's up. And I'm just trying to put a lot of damage on the enemy team right here and throw spears at them. I have mana. I think my blue buff is up if I need it, but... because that may be my only drawback here. We do have Volibear came bottom. So I know I committed right here. I think I was going to go get the blue buff, but then I saw Volibear come down, so I committed that, well, I better go help my team, my tanks down here. So I'm trying to get vision in the enemy jungle. The traps are great. Again, I think Nidalee's OP if you can master her. And I've did a good bit of damage, I think, to Warwick right there. I hit him with a couple spears. I'm just looking to see if the Raptor camp's up. I should maybe have put a trap right here in this brush instead of just straight up going for this red buff. At higher level of competition, I might get punished for that. Nidalee. So I got the red buff. I'm a level ahead of Warwick now. He was, I gave him a free takedown in the very beginning. Hold on, I gotta put the dog on the couch. Hold on. Here, bud. My dog has a big bed beside my computer desk, and then he has a little bed beside that bed, and then he has a whole couch over here. And then he has to sleep in my bed for some reason. I guess he owns me. So again, this is where I've been. I don't know if I'll do more pro content stuff this week or not. I needed a break a couple days, but I'm giving you an update. I'm trying to help you solo queue players get better at the game. Now if I could just hit a collie with a spear right here. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Now that's some pro stuff there. People want to make highlights of Faker, and look, Sodaron can be pro too. Look at this. Threading that spear through a minion. Like threading this spear just to toot my own horn. Like, I can be great too, guys. I just don't go and make content out of it. I used to have, back in Season 3, I played AD, and I'd, like, be able to grind games where I'm, like, 18-1, 19-2, 25-2 on AD back in the day. I should have became a pro player. It's just my problem was my dad got sick with cancer, and I had to give up grinding the game then. I had to sit at a hospital for 12 hours a day. At the time, I had a girlfriend that had a kid, and she was wanting me to babysit her kid, and then I'd have to go to the hospital. And I guess I could have sat there and been a piece of garbage and just played League of Legends and not pay attention to him. But I decided to try to be a good person and help him. So tried to get him into his mom wanted him to, he played Xbox all day long, and I didn't like that. I was trying to get him into League of Legends. Look at this spear here, guys. Being able to thread this Nidalee spear through a minion wave and hit a collie. Look at this. Look what Sodaron, the wizard of LOL esports, can do. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I can do those plays too, guys. And then that's where somebody's like, but Sodaron, it's not Challenger, so you're not good. And that stuff doesn't really matter. I think it's more difficult to play in the unranked than it is in Challenger, because at least you get teammates then. Look at that, I didn't even have mana, and I'm pushing a turret. Now I'm kind of just asking for the enemy to come gank me in that position, but we've got the Void Grubs, so I'm trying to push this turret down, get some gold. I'm ahead of Warwick that I gave a free kill to in the beginning of the game. I even gifted Warwick a kill in the beginning of the game, and he couldn't come back. Just to toot my own horn, which I don't like doing, but that's what most people make a living doing. Or putting people down. I don't like to put people down. Like, some people make a living saying players like Broken Blade are bad and all these bad words, and no, they're not. They may not be on the level of the LCK players, but they're good players. We know the LCK is ahead and the LPL are ahead. It's just their systems in place and how they practice. And they practice for 15 hours a day. Whole families, like Chovy's whole family revolves around him, and he makes the money, and they take care of him and have their roles. So it's go back and let me talk a little bit. I get on the mic and I like to talk. That's why I have my own. I invented my own show called The Next Level with Sodaron, which you should check out. It's on YouTube, or subscribe to my, or not subscribe, follow my Twitch channel. I'm not asking you to subscribe to my Twitch channel. I used to say that at the beginning and stuff, and I realized that people pay on Twitch. They pay subscriptions, and I'm not even asking for that yet. I'm just asking for your follow on Twitch. Or if you're watching me and you have friends that you think would like my content, or you know that have the time to go and click the follow button on Sodaron, please do that, because I'm trying to reach a goal of 50 followers and I can get the Twitch affiliate. Once I get the Twitch affiliate, my channel will grow. I've put in way more hours than needed for the Twitch affiliate. I just need the followers. Once we do that, this will take off, because you start getting free promotion from Twitch. They highlight you more. They allow you to go to Twitch cons and meet people. And I would like to do that. I'd like to go meet people and coach in person. And I don't have my own kids, but I care about my kids that like video games. I don't know why the sound went off. Okay, it did. So we go for the dragon. Akali's not going to do anything if she tries to come in. I put a ward back there, or no, my support did. I'm not even damaging the dragon. I'm trying to poke Akali off here. I know what they were going to do. Again, notice how I'm not trying to go in with the lioness form until their HP's like below 50, because I need to poke and put damage down with the spears first. That's one of the big flaws that I see people that are bad with Nidalee do. I've got my Leandries. I have a big power spike over most people. It's sad that the Akali had her Hextech belt like 5 minutes into the game, but Teemo's not. I don't think Teemo does anything but just annoy people, and we want to win this game, because Senna scales at like 40 or 50 minutes. She becomes OP, so we got to try to win this game fast. Ezreal's really strong right now, so the blue team, I think, had stronger picks than what we did. I mean, they had Akali, Senna, Ezreal, and then Warwick is probably really strong and should be able to counter me. I'll have to look that up. Let me look. Here, let me see if Nidalee counters Warwick. I think she actually counters Warwick. No, look at this. I'm playing straight up into a counter, guys. So there's the first thing. I'm playing into a hard counter and beating him. So I'm taking Warwick's farm away, so he can't do anything. That's why you see him go up and try to push this turret. But what's he gonna do? He doesn't have flash. His ult is up, but Volibear should be able. Volibear's sitting on an item and a half, cooldown boots. So Warwick doesn't have any items. Teemo doesn't have any items. I think Teemo like quit the game, like most Teemos do. So Volibear got pretty fed. Volibear is one of my favorite champions in the game. He's pretty scary once you get items on him. But I'm trying to master Nidalee. I know for a fact if I master Lee Sin, which I'm pretty good with Lee Sin, and Nidalee, and I probably would throw Poppy in there. You need maybe like 3. If I just play Nidalee, Poppy, and Lee Sin, I'm pretty sure I could get Challenger. Don't quote me. I know I could at least get Diamond, but I should be able to get Challenger. It's just, a lot of it is the time you spend. But that's also why I take like a 5 or 10 minute break instead of going right into the next game. And if you notice in the pro matches, they do the same thing. So again, I'm playing into a hard counter in this game. I could have, if I didn't play so careless, greedy, which is okay. Like, that's why I'm trying to do that and slowly learn. I think if I had Conqueror here as well, this was some of the problem too, that this early thing I did against Warwick, I thought I took Conqueror. If I had Conqueror, I would have probably won these trades right here, because I would have been able to heal up in this trade. So that was one of my mistakes. I don't pay attention to runes anymore. I used to, way back in the day, worry about runes so much. And bought rune pages and had all the runes. I mean, this game, you had to spend so much time. You kids that are younger today don't understand. Like, you want to make fun of my rank or stuff. If you saw how much time I spent into my main account, and then I made a second one because I had almost all the champions unlocked and was bored, so I made another account and started on it. And back then, it took forever to unlock the runes and the rune pages and the champions. By the time you get them unlocked, you're really good at the champions. But I know a lot of you, you go and unlock the champion with money and get a skin. But right here, I thought I had Conqueror. That's probably why I lost this trade. But I also had Volibear coming with me, so I mean, I took a very greedy trade there. I don't recommend it. It's just I wanted to get ahead of Warwick. I know that he's strong once he gets his ult, especially in lower ranked solo queue. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to look at Warwick. I should have speared him too. Also, if you want to get good at this game, go back and watch your replays and look at what you did wrong instead of trying to forget or... So I hit a spear. I needed to get another spear on him. Remember how I said earlier you shouldn't do this unless he's like at least below 50% health? So I needed to get another spear on him before I flash all in on him. But I'm trying to scare him away. I'm trying to put fear in this Warwick player. And if you notice, like later on in the game, he wouldn't even touch me, where he should have still been able to hard counter me with his ult. And he was like scared to death of me. But I didn't know I had Electrocute. I thought I took the Conqueror. I think if I had the Conqueror, I would have won this trade. Because I would have hit an auto here. I would have hit a couple more autos, and I think it would have healed me. But me and Volibear put fear into Warwick's head, and then we tilted him, as some people like to say. Also, Warwick's flash was down, so... I don't know what I was looking at what the Volibear did. Why didn't he flash? Volibear decides to go for the greedy trade too. He had the red buff. That's the problem with Teemo, is like people don't go all in on him, and then they get scared when they're blinded and they don't do any damage, so they run away, and you need to stay on him. So that's it. I think I probably don't have any chat right now. If anybody's in chat, hello there, fellow streamer. I've been a huge fan of your content and the incredible your dedication. Sorry, I got to take this guy serious apparently. Well, my Discord is Sodaron if you just want to add me, but Gray Huge, thank you. Hey there, fellow streamer. I've been a huge fan of your content and the incredible energy you bring to your streams. Your dedication to your craft and your community is truly inspiring. Well, thank you, sir. I try to be professional about this. I have a problem with a lot of the streamers I see that I don't agree with the garbage they're putting out there. And again, when I got into League of Legends, I had a girlfriend that had a child that was like 5 or 6 at the time. And so I knew how, and he watched Markiplier was the guy he liked. Like he sat around and just loved watching streamers and he loved watching video games. So I knew how impressionable he was. And so when I see streamers that go off and say the F word every 5 minutes and this person's trash, and it's going to have some effect in the future when these kids grow up and they're adults and society's going to fall, I guess, basically, or society's going to fall down a rung or two because I was raised by like a generation from the 70s and grandparents from the 30s, and they taught me to have respect for others. And it's one thing I don't get when I go out and I have younger neighbors. They have no respect for me whatsoever, and it's just not a good thing. So I try to put out some professionalism, and I know a lot of the kids out there, they just act, they do what they see. They act like somebody else they see, and they become that. So I try to act how I would want my child to be, an adult and intelligent and have respect for others. So that's what one of the things I'm trying to do here on the Sodaron channel. So if you can tell your friends, and if Malik here, if I could use your help, follow me on Twitch, please. I'm trying to reach a goal. Just click follow. I'm trying to reach a goal of 50 followers. That way I can get the Twitch affiliate. It's not the one I wanted. Not the one I wanted either. Is it this one? I think it's the stats. 41 followers. I need 9 more followers. I had 42. I must have really made somebody mad the other day with my music or something. I don't know. They were probably like, oh, this guy's showing practice tools, so he's a noob. And so I'm trying to show you all how you can get better. I know a lot of people that watch streams. Again, I had friends that I was in a guild with just recently in the beginning of the year, and we played EverQuest or Project 99. That one of my best friends, I don't know if he does anymore because he's got a different job, but he was a network admin. He spent a lot of time watching streamers and stuff because he's working and he can't play the video game, but he can watch the stream or have it on another monitor. So that's I'm well aware of that. So I'm trying to reach that audience. And I know some of you have children, and I try to, I don't know too many people that can go and do a 4 or 5 hour VOD without saying the F word or say bad words or what are viewed as bad words. And I feel like I already have some type of skill because I can do that, at least with my vocabulary. I do limit my vocabulary a little bit. Like there was a president we had at one time, like 4 years ago, that people were down on him because they would say that he talked like he was dumb for somebody that went to such a prestigious business school and was so intelligent. Well, I'll just turn it this way. I don't want to come off that I'm more intelligent than others. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but I don't want to put myself above others. I want to have a common speak where maybe somebody that's not so educated can understand what I'm saying and reach out, or maybe a 5-year-old. Like I try to talk to a level of a 5-year-old. There's a lot of 10-year-olds that really get drawn into this stuff, that it's an easy babysitting thing for your child. So I'm well aware of that audience. So that's it for today. I was just showing you my update, my Nidalee Jungle Clinic. And so I'll leave you with a song, and I will catch you next time. I'm trying to show you or promote my band's demo on here that we did back in 2007. And unfortunately, our band split up at the time because the bass player was married and had a couple of kids at the time. So he had to put all of his time for that. He couldn't do a band and work at all. And so it's just something laying around collecting dust. I even added guitar tracks and stuff to it on my laptop, but I never got to finish this stuff. So it's just in demo. There's a lot of extra guitar, and maybe someday we'll go back and redo these and they'll sound much better. The vocals will sound much better. So I'm just getting the exposure. Again, it's a band called Positive Influence. We have a single on iTunes or Amazon, but we got screwed by a record company where we signed our digital rights to them back in the day before Amazon and iTunes blew up. And so they own the song now. So we're supposed to get a percentage of the royalties. So, I mean, if you go and buy it, we're supposed to get a percentage of it. So maybe you need to go take a look. I don't know if you like the music. And I will catch you all next time. I'm thinking of making this one my outro. It's called Cornerstone, and it's a song that I pretty much wrote. I wrote the lyrics, the guitar, and there's a lot of extra guitar that I want to add to it. And I'm just embarrassed by my vocal and singing in this stuff. But, you know, I was like 17, 18 years old, so what do I expect? We used to play shows on stages, and I used to put shows together in my town. I had the last show in our local city park, has like this inside convention thing. I put, not personally like all on my own, but I put the pieces and parts together to get some touring indie bands to come in and play. And then the people in the area that are older, and they were like, well, kids come in here and cuss, so we're not having any more shows. Now eventually, supposedly they're tearing it down and building a new one. So it was difficult for my band because the only places we had to play were bars, and we weren't old enough to play. So I really had to put shows together and have them outside at like a skate park. So I've done a good bit in my life trying to get another coaching gig with a team like a Team Heretics or a G2 in the LEC. But I'll catch you next time.
Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just give me one more try. Supplication. Everything I see is mine. I think we're gonna hit disaster. Just try.